So we're just going to start by putting your attention throughout your body. Just move your attention with your breath into your body, to your big toes, your fingertips. And just be aware that that one that's moving its attention, so the one that puts the attention into the fingertips, the big toes, follows the breath, is being experienced by something that never left, that's always here. So now move your attention to the base chakra, which is just below the base of the spine and the genitals. And just be curious what's happening there. So just move your attention back down to that area if it keeps going to thinking. And know that there's nothing that you've done wrong if you've gone off into thinking. You're just going to stress yourself out more if you beat yourself up for drifting off into thinking. The best way to do it would be to condition yourself to be happy that you've caught yourself and just bring your attention back to your chakra. You can't fail at this. So now move up to your second chakra, which is just below your belly button. Just see what you feel there. Is it tight? Is it relaxed? Is it numb? Just get to know your body. Get to know what your body wants, what it likes, what it doesn't like, what it's saying. So now move up to the solar plexus, which is at the point of the rib cage. And just see what you're feeling there. See what's happening. Just allow it to be whatever way it is. Don't try to talk yourself out of anything or talk yourself into anything. Just let it be the way it is. Just be interested in your body. Like you've had your bodies for most of us is 30 plus years, I think. Maybe some, 1 or 2 are below 30. So for 30 years we've had these bodies, and you've never really known where your feelings are or what your body feels or is asking for. On the human level, this is super helpful to get to know your body and what your body is actually wanting. So now we're moving up to the heart area. If you're finding that your areas in your body are a little numb, you can just give it a bit of a rub as well. Like if you find that your heart area is numb, or even if it's sore, you can give it a rub. What I used to do, and I would recommend this to everyone, was I had a hot tub. And I don't have one anymore, but I hopefully one day will get one again, was I would put my chakras on the massage areas in the hot tub, and then I would sit and meditate on it. So there's the water, obviously not the base chakra. I'm sure everyone thought of that straight away. But the other ones, for the other ones, I would line it up and I would put the water pressure on there, and then I would sit and meditate on that. And so you can also, and you can do it on the back as well. So you can massage the back bit. And it's amazing, like you do that for a few minutes, and what would happen to me is if one of the areas was really tight, emotion would come out. I wouldn't even need to do anything. I wouldn't need to think of anything. And then suddenly on the heart area, sadness would come out. Or tears or unworthiness would just come out. No thoughts, no anything. Just the massage would produce that emotion. And then it would just pass and that area would feel relaxed again. But it helped me get to know what I was when I was thinking something, where I was feeling it in the body. And as you begin to understand this, you're going to understand yourself so much better in communication at work, in your family, because you're going to understand what it is you're wanting. And this is when we have conflict, is when we don't understand what we want. And then the other person is irritating us because we're not communicating what we want. Or the other person is making us feel bad because we are not aware of what it is that we're feeling. And you'll be able to set your boundaries better. You'll be able to focus on goals better. On the human level, this is one of the best things I ever did, was getting to know what my body wanted. Not on the absolute level. On the absolute level, it's kind of a little irrelevant. The only part to it on the absolute level is it relaxes the person, so the absolute There's the possibility of hearing the absolute beyond the person. When you're really tight and contracted and unhappy, there's so much focus on you, it's hard to hear about anything greater or bigger or more expanded than you. But on the human level and in relationships, this is just an amazing thing to do and to understand. So when somebody is saying something, and then in your mind you're feeling very angry towards them, when you're more aware of your body, you can very quickly understand what it is you're actually wanting from the person and what it is you're actually feeling. And so therefore it might not stop the argument, but at least you're aware of it, and you can at least try to communicate that to the other person. The other person might not be receptive to that. They might reject it instantly, but at least for you, you understand what it is you want and what you're not getting. So your body is a lot more simpler, and the energies and the feelings and the emotions can pass through a lot quicker. If you don't understand what you want, then there's going to be a lot of internal struggle and mental struggle, trying to unconsciously manipulate the other person into getting what you want, but you're not even conscious of it. There's just a lot of tension and discomfort and a lot of circling in stories of blame, of guilt, of shame, of expectation, of pride. The quicker you can just understand what you want, the more simpler your emotions will pass through. And the way you begin to do that is by understanding your emotions and your body and what your body's saying. This is not something someone can teach you. This is something you have to investigate for yourself. So when your boss says something to you, do you actually know what you feel? You maybe, your mind is talking about how much you hate your boss, but do you know what you actually feel? More than likely, you feel vulnerable. You don't hate your boss, you just feel vulnerable. They've made you feel very vulnerable and not good enough. And all you need to do is just keep putting attention into the body. So when someone's speaking to you, put your attention into your body and see which part of your body is getting tense, which part of your body likes it, rather than what your mind is saying, which is normally a defense, which is normally an abstraction of what's actually happening. And if it's uncomfortable, really don't worry about it. That's not a sign you're doing anything wrong. Discomfort is part of life sometimes. And it just takes a bit of time. You're just not used to sitting, you're used to doing. And I can already feel that everybody's more relaxed doing this than they were yesterday. Even with the hurricane outside. We're preparing to take off. So now move your attention into your throat. Sometimes when the throat chakra is out of balance, people report back a feeling of being strangled, this area, like this feeling of a lump, or it's so tight it's as if somebody's strangling you. And so why is that? Like if that is happening to you now, if your neck is really tight, why is that happening? That's super interesting. And that can't be the human condition, to walk around as if you're being strangled. I'm pretty sure Khaleesi, my dog, doesn't experience this in her chakra centers. So why do we? Why would somebody feel like they're being strangled or like their neck is really tight? To me, that can only come from the image of yourself and through your relationship with other people, your image of other people and what you think. That can't be the natural way of being. I can't believe that nature would build an instrument that felt like it was being strangled. And this is very common when I work with people. They feel like they're being strangled. For me, it used to feel like I had a big lump there. So what is it that's creating that? What thought is it that's creating that? What ideas? And what does that do to you in relationships with other people? What does that do to you when you're working? When you're being creative? And as you begin to put your attention there more, you begin to notice these unconscious thoughts. Maybe a thought says, I'm not allowed to speak. I'm not worthy of speaking. I'm not worthy of expressing myself. I'm not worthy of getting what I want. And how is that going to affect your job, your life, your career, your family? If you're repetitively believing that you're not worthy of it, do you think you're actually going to get what you want if you unconsciously believe that? Or do you think your body's going to steer you towards situations that make you feel like you can't get what you want? It's super important getting to know your body and what your body's saying. And as you recognize that your body is saying this, that will begin to stop. Just like if you recognize that putting your hand in the fire burns and hurts and dangers you, you will stop doing it. But if you're unconscious of it, then your body will just be contracted and tight all day, and you'll just keep moving towards what your body unconsciously believes, that you're not worthy. So you'll put yourself in situations where you feel unworthy, where you feel unloved. And then you'll blame others and you'll blame the situation, you'll feel victim to life. Life did this to you. And every being, everything that appears in this life, no matter what you've done, no matter what you're going to do, is 100% worthy and lovable. Everyone, everything, from the mosquito to the gorilla to the white shark, great white shark, to the murderer, to the pedophile, to the saint, to the road cleaner. This is true love. Everything is worthy. I'm not saying I agree with those actions, but everything is worthy because it's here, because it's appearing in this. Because if you removed anything, life would collapse. You can't remove anything. Everything is interconnected. You can't just remove the moon. You can't just remove the sunlight or the wind or the clouds or the human you dislike or the mosquitoes or the bumblebees or the stars. Okay, so now move on to your next chakra, which is your third eye, which is just above your frown, or in the center of your forehead. And we have to move quickly because we're running out of time. We just move to the top chakra on top of your head and just put attention there. I can feel the agitation coming back in the room. And people want to run out of here. Come on, when's the break? When's the break? You've done well. You did a whole hour of sitting. And each day you'll find it gets easier. Okay, so you are excused. You can finish. You can begin to open your eyes.